live Weather Authority coverage will begin shortly. Your live Weather Authority coverage starts right now.
Well, good snowy Wednesday morning to you. Hopefully you're having a good Wednesday so far. Snow's coming down out there. Roads are slick in spots, although likely not coming down at a rate hard enough to really lead to any major issues. But again, if you're going to be traveling on untreated roads, be aware it could be a little bit slick at times through this morning. So again, we're going to see the snow coming down through the morning, quiet afternoon, and then freezing rain for tonight. So thanks for joining in, everybody. If you're just tuning in, we'd love to hear how much snow you've seen where you are. Let me know down in the comments below, or just what you're seeing out there. If you're not seeing any snow, or you've only seen a little bit, also let me know. I'd love to know what we're seeing across the area in terms of snowfall so far. Seems like we are heading towards about 1 to 2 inches, I would say, here in the Portland area. So yeah, the snow's continuing to fall out there. Again, if you have a comment on how much you've seen, we'd love to hear from you guys right now. Again, we're going to see this snow continuing through the rest of this morning, tapering off this afternoon. So here's a look at Mount Agamenticus. This is down in York County, of course. It's very foggy down there as well. I've also noticed some fog here in the Portland area, helping to reduce visibility even more. So a little misty, hazy out there with the falling snow right now. So let's take a look at our radar. You can see it's starting to taper off. Most of the snow is beginning to move offshore. It's still falling at a pretty good rate in many spots. It's still falling lightly in much of central and southern Maine, but it is going to be tapering off here over the next several hours. So yeah, we are continuing to track the snow out there this morning. Here's a little bigger picture look at the snow coming down. You can see those very light snowfall rates in the Portland area right now, heavier towards Lewiston and Mid-Coast Maine, and down in York County as well. That's where we've seen the heavier snowfall rates so far this morning. So again, it's going to fall here for probably the next 2-3 hours or so for some of us, and then it tapers off as we head into this afternoon. Now, this is a cold system. You're probably noticing how fluffy the snow is. It's very easy to just blow away. You could definitely use the leaf blower on this. Very easy cleanup, which is nice for us here. Temperatures, you can see why it's very fluffy. Your temperatures are running very cold. 22 in Portland, we're 21 in Lewiston, 18 right now in Augusta and in Rockland. So very cold in central Maine and in the mid-coast. The mountains also quite cold. It's 14 right now up in Rangeley with the snow continuing to fall. So let's take a look at what we're expecting for the rest of the day. The snow continuing through about lunchtime, midday today. We'll see the snow really wrapping up for most of us. Notice the afternoon, pretty quiet here. We're just going to see a lot of clouds, temperatures right around 30 degrees. Those clouds will lead us into another round of some freezing rain as we head into tonight. Yeah, hey, good morning, Klein. Kara Bassett checking in, seeing 3 to 5 inches Friday. Is that legitimate? Wouldn't be shocked if we do end up with 3 to 5 inches there. It's trended a lot colder for Friday, which is good news for the mountains and the ski resorts. Looks like it's going to be more snow as opposed to rain or freezing rain there. So yeah, 3 to 5 inches does not sound like a bad bet. From what I was looking at earlier this morning, yeah, that seems like it would probably be a pretty good bet up there. I'm sure we'll put out a snow map later on today for Friday, depending on how that continues to trend. Dusting and Wayne, thanks, buddy, for the report. When's our next heavy storm? Nothing jumping out right now, Natty, for a big storm on the horizon. Potentially Sunday could be a bigger storm. Big storm or heavy storm, not looking that way as of right now. Just a bit of snow in Raymond. Thanks, Geraldine. Good morning to you, Ross. Kennebunk for Friday, just rain on Friday in Kennebunk, no concerns there. For most of us along the coastline, it's tonight with the freezing rain that we're really going to see the issues. It's not going to be a big deal on Friday. So again, today we're quiet for the afternoon. Totals likely ending up in the 1 to 3 inch range from Portland southward. So Kennebunk, Lee, if you're watching still, you'll end up with about 1 to 3 inches of snow there today. Sanford, similar story. Further to the north, Lakes region, Lewiston, places like Raymond, Freiburg, towards the Oxford Hills, and Augusta, a coating to 1 inch or 2. So again, not a major event, but could keep travel slick out there through this morning. So just be on the lookout for that. All right, let's talk about the ice potential as we head into tonight. Again, tonight, it's going to be pretty messy, it looks like, after this evening. It looks like the timing is sped up a bit more, so more evening time frame today, we'll see that ice moving on in. So the snow, again, it wraps up right around midday today. We're quiet for the afternoon. Here comes the freezing rain. Okay, if you're watching right now, 6 to 9 p.m., that's when it begins. So if you can avoid travel this evening, probably a good idea. Conditions are looking pretty messy out there tonight. Notice all the pink there. That's the freezing rain, and that is what is going to lead to the issues. So we'll see the freezing rain starting as freezing rain here at the coastline. It quickly changes over to plain old rain, though. So at the coast, you live in the Portland area, you live in Brunswick, you live in Bath, you live down in York County along the coastline there. Wells, Ogunquit, York, it'll very quickly change over to just plain rain. So not as much of a concern at the coast. Could still be some icy spots, but it's mainly an inland and mountain concern for the icing here. So Freiburg, Lewiston, Augusta up towards the mountains. Yeah, that's where we could see some very icy conditions this evening. It does change over to rain late tonight, but this evening, again, likely to see some very icy conditions. The mountains keep the ice pretty much all night. Now, the good news is by tomorrow morning, you're heading out to work and school, pretty quiet out there. In fact, tomorrow, looking pretty nice almost. We'll see highs in the 40s, some sunshine during the afternoon. Not a big deal on Thursday. It looks like a nice lull here in between rounds of wintry weather. Now, our next one, that's going to be arriving as we head into Friday. So you can see here, as we head into early Friday morning, we're going to see the freezing rain returning for inland areas. Now, the good news is about Friday is that it's not going to be a coastal issue, it looks like. This looks like mainly an inland and mountain issue on Friday morning. So probably not a big deal here in the Portland area, but maybe Lewiston, Auburn, Augusta, over towards the Oxford Hills could be a whole lot more of an issue. Now, models have been trending colder with this. Wouldn't be surprised if even in Lewiston, say we start off with a good burst of snow, maybe some heavier snow on Friday morning before we see it turning to freezing rain and then eventually plain old rain. So let's head through the day Friday. It's going to be a pretty soaking rain at the coastline. Unfortunately, it's going to wash away pretty much all of our snow that's on the ground. We're going to see, again, Lewiston, Augusta changing to rain as well on Friday. And then the mountains, they turn over to snow. So we see some freezing rain in the mountains, looking snowier on Friday. Klein was chiming in earlier. Yeah, Friday looks pretty snowy up by you in Carrabassett. Would not be surprised if we see 3 to 5. I wouldn't be shocked, maybe 4 to 6 up there on Friday. So yeah, looking like a good round of snow for the ski resorts and mountains here just in time for the weekend. I'm actually skiing on Friday. I love this trend. I'm really happy it's going to be a snowy ski day for me. And the weekend looking pretty good for skiing as well. Just a dusting so far, wherever, if you let me know where you're chiming in from. Elizabeth, good morning to you. Travis, hopefully you're enjoying the snow down there in York County. Erica, thank you for the report. 2 inches in Biddeford. Sounds about right. Yeah, Biddeford has definitely seen some of the most snow in the state so far. It looks like that will continue to be the case, probably ending up with around 3 inches there in the Biddeford area out of this system. Light snow in Leamington. Thanks so much for the report, Travis. South Portland area Friday morning. Carol, all good. Just going to be rain on Friday. Shouldn't be any major issues. So that's some good news for you there if you're planning on traveling on Friday. So Friday, we're wrapping things up by the evening hours. Pretty quiet as we head into the weekend. So here's a good depiction of what we will see in terms of icing with the round tonight and the round on Friday. For tonight, we are going to see the icing potential for all of us from the Portland area up towards Lewiston, Augusta, the mountains specifically getting the most of this tonight. So again, slick travel after about 6, 7 p.m. Good idea to maybe just be staying home because things are going to ice up pretty quick out there. It's going to remain pretty cold out here as we head into tonight before things start warming up. So interesting range in snow totals across the state. So Biddeford has about 2 inches, but in Leamington, where Travis is right now, just a dusting. So scattered amounts of snow all across the state. Southern Maine, again, getting the most, especially York County coastline, 2 to 3 inches there. The further inland you are, it looks like we've gotten less amounts so far. So again, tonight, very icy conditions are certainly possible. Lewiston, Augusta, the mountains, Rumford, definitely going to be quite icy out there. So a good idea to maybe not be traveling for tonight. As we head into Friday, notice how things shift inland on Friday with the icing potential. Less of a concern, even in places like Lewiston and Augusta. It may be icy in the morning, less so as we head through the day as temperatures warm above freezing. But the mountains do get a good amount of icing on Friday. Not enough for power outages, but enough for very slick travel through the morning on Friday. So a very fine snow in Hiram. Thanks for the report, Kathy. I appreciate that. Yeah. For the most part, it's very light out there this morning. So we're going to see the snow wrapping up here over the next few hours. And again, we're going to continue to see the ice potential for tonight and on Friday. So here's what we're looking ahead to. If you want, I can sum everything up in 3 bullet points here. We got the rounds of wintry weather through Friday afternoon. We turn quiet on Saturday and we're watching snow on Sunday. I think that's our next headline, potential snow on Sunday. Brief Arctic cold snap then arrives early next week. If you were missing highs in the teens and lows below zero, well, we've got good news for you. Early next week looks to turn pretty cold across the state. So what time does ice start today in Augusta? 8 p.m. or so, 8 p.m., Nicole, in the Augusta area. And then things get really icy and remain that way for a few hours. I would say by 11 p.m., midnight or so, I would expect to see some improvements there. And by tomorrow morning, Nicole, should be much better in Augusta. So if you can just stay off the roads this evening and tonight, will be much better. Not even enough to snowblow or plow. Thanks so much. That's in Leamington. So yeah, very light snow totals in some spots, more in others. Again, Erica said she had 2 inches in Biddeford. Any news about the storm Sunday? Perfect timing, Lisa. Let's talk about that. So if you are not hoping for snow on Sunday, got some good news for you. The storm is not trending towards a major storm at this point. It's looking even less likely to see a widespread snowfall than it was looking yesterday. So Sunday, again, we do have the snow icon still there. It's still potentially going to snow, but less likely now that we're going to see a major storm. So here's the breakdown of our Sunday storm. If we do see it, it would begin sometime during the day on Sunday. I would say it's looking less likely than it was yesterday. It may stay suppressed to the south, maybe Boston getting a good amount of snow, but not so much here in Maine. I could still see us getting some, but I'd say a widespread snow is looking less likely. Still possible, but less likely at this point. We're going to continue to watch it, of course. It could totally trend back the other way this afternoon, but I would say the trends are for maybe something less impactful or maybe even not a major deal at all. So if you're hoping for improved weather on Sunday, keep hoping for this trend to hold out. I would say by tomorrow afternoon, we'll probably have a much better idea of what will be happening on Sunday. So yeah, I'll go back through this in a minute. Chelsea's telling me she's missed the info about Friday. I'll go back through what we're expecting here tonight and tomorrow coming up in just a second. So again, Sunday storm, maybe not a big deal. We'll keep an eye on it, but as of right now, leaning towards less of a major deal than it was looking yesterday, than how models were showing it yesterday. So that's that. We head into next week beyond the storm. Yeah, 19 for the high on Monday, low 1 at the coastline. And you know, if we're inland, it's going to be colder. Early next week looking freezing. Highs around 15 degrees on Monday, well below 0 Monday night. Still very cold on Tuesday. So going to be quite chilly early next week. Yeah, Lisa's saying she's got to travel Sunday. Yeah, then keep your fingers crossed for things to remain less snowy out there. I would say as of right now, not looking like a major storm right now. Yeah, later or not at all, Pamela is saying. Yeah, it seems like the weather models seem to agree with you, Pamela, trending towards, again, not a big deal on Sunday, but we'll keep an eye on it just to be safe. It's still a few days away. So let's talk about the ice potential tonight. I do want to run through that one last time. Chelsea said that she missed the info about Friday. Let's talk about tonight first, though. We've got the icing for all of us potentially after sunset, 6 to 9 p.m. And then inland and mountain areas are getting the most with that. Friday, that's mainly for inland areas. So Chelsea, if you live along the coastline, not a big deal for you. It's just going to be a rainy Friday. But if you live in Lewiston, you live in Bridgeton, Naples, Sebago, Raymond, Freiburg, could be more of a big deal on Friday morning with very icy travel. So again, Friday, inland and mountains. Tonight, all of us have that potential. So I'm going to wrap things up now, you guys. Stay safe out there in the snow this morning and stay safe out there, of course, with the icing tonight. Freezing rain, the number one cause of crashes when it comes to winter weather. It can't be understated enough how slick that black ice can be. So, of course, if we know all about driving in winter weather here, but black ice is just never something that you want to mess with. So hope everyone has a great rest of your day. Enjoy the snow if you like it. Stay cozy if you don't. It'll be washed away, it looks like, for a lot of us anyway on Friday with the rain coming in. So, yeah, have a good one, you guys, and stay nice and warm.
This has been live Interactive Weather Authority coverage.